Good day or good night, everybody. Welcome back to our Anatomists playthrough. And we are at the day 30 in Mullstadt. As we can see, they have ambush trade routes and incense also sells for more. Too bad we've sold all of our incense in the previous town, but price was so good we couldn't afford not to. Now, as I sell some of that loot, let me talk about the campaign goals for us in this episode and in the coming episodes. First and foremost, we still need to recruit Bannerman. I was holding with that a little bit. I didn't want to recruit just any person able to use the Rally the Troops perk because we want somebody quality. We want somebody to stay with us until the end of campaign. I mean, that's the principle I've been following with all of the recruits so far, and that's why it took us pretty much up to day 30 to recruit the full team roster. So that is the first priority for us. For example, we have gone past several of those undead camps and we weren't able to challenge them, especially where they had geists, as it's way too easy to lose your team to them when you don't have a way to rally your people. Now, I want to hire more bros. We only want quality, so I will be continuing to test some cheap backgrounds, hoping to find that gem, with 3 stars in melee attack and defense, with a decent background. Some backgrounds are better over the others, but we also want to start looking at those premium backgrounds, like adventurous nobles, like assassins, like hedge knights even, etc, etc. Depends on what we can find, maybe some nomads. Now, we also want to be completing our ambition, and this time we have been wandering about the countryside for several days, in fact, without encountering any beasts. And despite our best efforts, we still sit at 0 out of 5 required battles in order to fulfill this ambition. And we also want to defeat beasts in order to hire another member of our retinue, the Scout. And Scouts are essential as they allow us to move faster in any terrain by 15%. It does help tremendously chasing those bandit groups or just move effectively. Moving on, we want to hunt for famed items now, of course. Maybe we'll be starting to encounter some Brigand leaders. If we do, we'll be sure to try and target them down for the armor and hope they don't break their weapons on us. Sometimes they carry some nice things, tier 3 weapons specifically. And yeah, I think that's the most pressing goals and priorities for us, if I say so myself. So let's try to do our best in this episode to complete some of them. Alright, let's check the quests available to us. So there is a Drive Brigands north of that city quest, although it's only 1 star. So what I'm thinking is it may be more profitable. First, let's check for clues and some rumors. Sometimes we will learn there's a famed item somewhere close to the city. No such luck, but if the camp was bigger, there's different tiers of camps. Tier 1 to 3, and the tier 3 naturally has the best chances of getting a famed item. Sometimes there is a famed item already allocated to a camp, it's sort of on the loot list, and accepting 1 or 2 star quest will override this, and it will replace or remove that famed item from your reward. So that's where you have to be careful and pay attention to the rumors in the taverns and so on and so forth. Also, generally speaking, the further away from civilization, the better the chances to find something good. We'll just go and explore north of the city ourselves, try to find that camp. This delivery quest is not something that will be of interest to us right now, so let's get moving. We have plenty of food, lots of money. We also need to find some beasts. I can see some trucks, and there is a camp here. Beasts must be close. There's Nachos here, 9 of them. Let's actually go and give them a chase, because we need those beasts for our ambition. And I will change my weapons here to slashing / piercing weapons, as they are a lot more effective against those beasts. certainly a lot more effective than the flails. So yeah, let's take a second to re-equip ourselves and give them a good fight. Okay, there is a little bit of a high ground here, so we may want to reposition over there just so that we avoid taking any damage this fight and maximize our chances to successful outcome. I mean, there's no way we can lose this battle really. 11 nachos or 9 nachos is not enough to scare us, so it's a small fight, but still a one that's worth taking. Okay, javelin to the face. Let's keep him alive. We don't want them to feed. It will kill that nacho. That's the most likely outcome. So it's tempting to step in and kill that nacho, but I'll break my formation. So I'll just stay put for now. Yep, they already are feasting. It's tempting to break formation here. Javelins, yep, injury, that's going to help us. Ooh, stepping there is a bad idea, even with the shield equipped. So let's just stay put. Those resolve checks still not going exactly our way a lot of the times. We need more resolve. Not being confident is a big problem. Fight looks nearly won. We are just wrapping this up. Okay, dogs, very helpful. Just one medium large nacho left to kill. Okay. And that's fight. Though it is insignificant, but we mainly killed them and chased them for the ambition and retinue, and Helfrich has leveled up, maximum rolls to melee attack and defense. That's what we love to see, but then again, with 2 stars, it's hard to expect anything else from him. Now we have opportunity to assault this camp, and it's nearly nightfall. With the marksman present, that's best time to attack that place. I will take a moment to check my equipment, re-equip the weapons more suitable to fight brigands, and I'll be back in a moment. It is going to be yet another battle where we need to charge into the frail, as they have range superiority and advantage over us. We can take advantage of those tree stumps and trees in order to conceal our approach and give them worse chance to hit our most vulnerable brothers. 6 brigand marksmen is no joke. There's 5 crossbows there. It's quite likely we will be approaching this enemy formation with wet pants, depending on how it goes and how RNG is treating us. It may warrant slightly slower approach using shield wall and trying to hide behind shields as well and those objects. It's just a bit tricky finding the right pathing to our target location. Once we're there, we can also hide behind that palisade It will help protect our front line, and reach weapons can still hit marksmen behind it. It's double-edged sword for the enemy so heavy with the ranged units, I would say. So far so good. Excellent, excellent. That really paid off. Although the chances they were rolling is not like 5, so it's been 12-15% every time. This time we've been lucky and we can get really close to the action now. Now once we're here, we can decide what to do next. Whether we want to touch in with the Hammer Raider in the middle of the formation. That would force some of the other melee units to come out and spend their AP on moving, but there is only that flail raider up top, so that may not be as good idea. We don't have enough AP to use the shield wall, even though we are better protected against ranged. That wall will still have some chance to hit us. Now, if we position our own poles behind the palisade, that would also force the flail to move into us, because they will recognize that we are within the range with those type of weapons. If we stay one tile further away and just step into attack next turn, it exposes us to be struck by all those ranged attacks. So there's rarely a perfect solution to that situation here. Our shield was destroyed here with the flail, which is unfortunate. Now we'll probably get hit with this ball for sure. Oh, actually we've dodged 40% chance and they rolled 79. We can consider ourselves quite lucky here. And I think it's just time that we step in. I'm a little bit concerned about that 200 flail, as when we move in eventually with one of our shield brothers, the flails, as we know, ignore shield defenses. Therefore, it's going to be quite difficult to avoid being hit. And they can still go fairly early in the turn initiative order. Alright, let's try to stun him. And that was also a miss. 62%. Rolled 70. Dunk. I'll need to be careful not to position my units directly behind the flailers. They have ability to strike through the first line, and also they can attack 3 targets around, just like great swords. Something to keep in mind here for sure. That's why we can move down. Let's move into the middle instead. Ouch, that was a strike to the head. And it stunned us. So we need to try and help him as much as we can now. We are being targeted by the ranged as well. That's not good. Thankfully we've dodged. I probably should have moved away, shouldn't I? Instead of waiting, as that costed us a hit. And ooh, we have run out of luck by the looks of it with all these crossbows. Progress is still being made. What can help us kill that wounded raider? Yes, good dog. Now let's just focus on not taking more hits. We need to get rid of that flail up top. And quick. We can also target some of that marksman. That was a hit to the head, and that helped on our northern flank. Excellent. We are unable to rotate the stand units out of the combat. Okay, let's move in closer to the ranged formation. It may force them to reposition. They are shooting a mercenary in the middle of the formation, as you can see, because they are surrounded by 4 other units. There's another flail. All right, okay. That's a bit unexpected, and he is dangerous, but 2 javelin strikes have pretty much sealed the deal with him. That's great. Oh, I'm not going to move there with potentially 3 lots of knives attacking me. With the surround bonuses. So I'll just move to that last marksman to tie him up, and this battle should be coming to conclusion fairly quickly now. That last raider in the middle is also crumbling away. There we go, he's broken. Yeah, so let's hope for no injuries with the knife attacks from the marksman, and I'm just going to wrap up the battle now. Right, finally the battle is over. We have 1 level up on the Gerhard, and the loot is okay in terms of the money we will get. Quite a good amount of tools and ammo, money and food. Also, fools will sell well. That's awesome. Let's give a level up to Baldur as well. 3 and 2 is very respectable. We can give him more initiative, and for his perk, he still haven't picked Relentless. Gerhard, +3, +2, very similar, and we can give you more resolve. Push that up, and yeah, the team is looking better and better. In terms of this last perk, I probably will hold fire with Gerhard. Let's consider what to repair, do some inventory management for a brief moment. Pierced hand and broken nose injuries are annoying, but not the end of the world. We can carry on with those for the time being. All that's required now is just a little bit of a time to heal up and repair our armor. And let's continue on our journey. Right, there's plenty of area that still waits to be discovered. Big forest here. Maybe we can locate another place of interest. Like this undead location has Sepulchre of the Restless. I don't know if I read it right, but it has 4 to 6 geists, and that is clearly a little problem for us right now with no dedicated Bannerman. Let's leave it for later. Let's go visit this citadel and see what's up in here. What are the prices? 16. They are kind of an average. I think we can sell here with confidence and free up the inventory space that we need for heading into the wilderness again. Weaponsmith doesn't have anything special. Armorer. Prices are rather steep in here. Nothing to see. Lots of money that we can spend. So let's take a look at the recruits. And I see a very cheap wildman that is worth having a roll, but nothing special. Lumberjacks, that could be really good for fatigue heavy builds. And Boyer doesn't have any ranged attack stars. Let's check Anna here as well. But again, all potentially nice backgrounds, but they don't have stars, unfortunately. And that's about it. We can also check Fletcher. Nothing interesting. And I believe that Oath Taker we've seen, he is too expensive. That would be all of the money that we carry with us. Let's just dismiss those guys and hope for finding some better ones in the future. We need to decide now where to go next. I believe this large city looks promising. Promises of several contracts that would be right down our alley. And we found another location. This time, is that on the swamp? No, it's in the tundra, so a lot better approach for us. And I think it is very manageable. It's nearly nighttime. It's 4 to 6 Brigand marksmen. I think we may as well wait until the nightfall and attack them then. Okay, and we see 2 Brigands with hammers, one with 200 hammer, so 3 hammers in total, 2 noble swords. Those are nice finds for us. And we don't see all of the marksmen, but clearly we will need to approach them. I'm going to do just that. Make use of the high ground. Actually, there's only 9 of them, so that's everyone. We should be able to handle that with ease. It's only 3.6% chance of named item if I read the description correctly. That's a good hit. Right, now how do we approach them? Let's wait for a bit longer. And it seems that they had enough of that pressure and they are wasting their AP to come to us. That's perfect. Walking in like this into a triple surround, that is very brave. Let's teach him a lesson. And this Brigand is already broke. Good hit and injury. There we go. Here we can block the raider with the throwing axes, and another one broke. Things are looking very straightforward now. Got 2 hits with that flail. And nighttime is really making life difficult for the marksman. If the fight was undecided, I wouldn't have attacked those fleeing raiders. I would have allowed them to kill themselves by running with our melee brothers engaged with them. It's normally a waste of fatigue on something that's inevitable, but in this case I just want to cause some further morale problems before I engage with those marksmen, as if they pull their knives out. Like here, we want them to miss those puncture shots, because they are quite bad for us. They usually cause injuries if they hit. Battle is pretty much won right now. We are just closing in on every single enemy now. We'll fast forward this until the post-battle screen. That's the battle, and the loot is okay. There's some trade goods. 2 noble swords have dropped, which is nice. We can repair them, and if anything, always sell them with profit. As well as this hammer and crossbow. Helmets also. We have number of level ups. Altwin leveled up. Let's give him health, fatigue, and melee defense, of course. And Battleforge is the way to go on you. Fury, +3/+3, lovely to see. You clearly need more resolve. And we can give you students right now. Sigbold, we need to continue to level you up. You really roll nicely with everything that we want. Some fatigue is essential. And I can always decide on your perks later. I don't know quite yet what we're going to make out of you. Okay, I believe we may want to decide now if we want to hand out some potions. We have short distance now from that large city, and usually it takes, what, 1-2 days for these potions to be absorbed by our brothers. They will be sick when handed any of those potions. I think Adelma could use always with the extra health and fatigue. The potion of sleepless, cheaper shield wall will go to a tank, Ulrich. And can we distribute anything else? Baldur with the initiative build will end up with high amount of hit points, and one of his vulnerabilities could be poison. All right, so that's decided. 3 of our brothers are going to be sick for a while, but they will recover and come back to us stronger. Well, at the moment we have no choice really but to keep them in a company. They will have a bit more trouble trying to avoid hits and hit enemies in return, but I don't anticipate any fights soon, as we are just about to approach the city. Let's see what interesting we can see in here. So ambush trade routes. We can sell that loot we found in the last Brigand camp. Make some decent money. Probably be reaching 10,000 now. One set of javelins perhaps. Okay. That's about the marketplace. No interesting rumors. Nothing in the armorer. Let's take a look for the recruits. There is a ship brawler and messenger, 2 militia. He's cocky and he's fragile, so he's not going to be of interest to us. Manfred here is reasonably priced for Oath-Taker. We can try him out, and oh boy, he is irrational team player. Well, he has 3 stars in fatigue, 2 in resolve, and 3 in melee defense. But what interests me is that both takers have potentially quite high initial starting resolve. And with 2 stars in resolve, he could be our Bannerman / tank. Let's have a look at you. Okay, so you start with 50. Oh, that's perfect. This is just exactly what we were hoping for. 50 starting resolve. In terms of starting health, you rolled maximum. Fatigue will need some work on, but you can roll with 4 to 5 with 3 stars in fatigue. And you already rolled maximum melee attack and decent initiative too. Now here, that's understandable. We're not going to be able to roll 3 in melee attack every single time, but we can keep increasing your fatigue, health, melee defense, and resolve, of course. And he also came with the halberd, which is the best all in the game, and some heavy armor. You can definitely make use of that. So I think that was a great investment. Irrational is a bit of a problem, but you know, because he's in the backline, I don't think he's going to be exposed for too many of those morale checks. So we can definitely leave with that. And yeah, I'm really happy with Manfred. Let's level him up, shall we? +3 to melee defense, +4 to resolve, and let's keep upping your fatigue. You're going to need it. And Colossus is a good idea just so we can keep you safe. We can also give you Pathfinder bags and belts. It'll probably be the user of bags and belts. You can also be greedy and give you student right away and hope to keep you safe. So yeah, you know what? Let's go for it. Let you catch up with some levels faster, and that means that it's probably Horik or one of the injured brothers. We can put you in a reserve for the time being. And that helmet, and let's take a look at this armor. Yep, Gerhard can handle it. Still has respectable fatigue after that. Do we have a helmet? Yes, we do. We can replace this halberd on somebody who needs bonus to hit. Banner can go to our new Bannerman right away. Just like that. Excellent. Now I'm really happy. We have found our Bannerman, everybody. Let's put him on the team immediately and start working towards rally the troops back. Okay, so Horik is benched for the time being, and let's just think about who we are going to move to our front line. Sigbold already has Battleforged, and Underdog, I think he is as good candidate as any really be placed here. We don't really have an armor for you just yet, but I think you can manage. You have okay-ish melee defense, and that halberd will go to somebody else. If we're not fighting against marksmen, having double grip is always preferred on our front line. On second thought, we could also bench Baldur, as he is going to take a bit of time to recover from the sick condition, really. Yeah, why not? Albert goes to Sir Lothar. Bike can go to Adelmar. Right, there are two contracts here. One is to find location some way to the east. Okay, let's keep that in mind. And then the second one is to do a caravan, and we are not interested in caravans. In which case, let's take this contract and let's try to find this crypt. And as it's to the east, I'm hoping it may have some interesting loot. Now, quest of this kind does not override potential famed items inside of location, because the quest only tells you to find it, not to defeat it. Okay, it's getting dark, and we still haven't found it. Gerhard has healed up, that's always good. Come on, where are you? Right, so this is worth paying, usually somewhere to the southwest, so we have gone too far. It is very annoying when we are unable to find it like that. What a giant waste of time. This time we are told for free it's to the south. And there seems to be a undead group with a Necromancer. Since we haven't fought for a while, this is perfect opportunity to catch up with our desired amount of fights per day. Level up our Bannerman. Of course, I am looking for cleavers. I'm going to equip them on my highest melee attack bravers, who can have enough fatigue to swing them and use their special abilities. That costs quite a bit of fatigue. But, you know, if we can chop some heads off, that means Necromancer cannot resurrect them. And that's usually a good strategy for that kind of fight. I can do some management with the armor. Give 115 pieces to my frontliners. Yeah, and we have found the location as well. The only issue now is to fight that undead group away from the camp, because we don't want to take 2 necromancers at once. Oop, and they seem to be coming back. So let's just chase them away from the location first, so they are not dragged into this fight. We could defeat the Crypt of the Mourning first. There is a undead hero or fallen hero there. Maybe worth to have some nets in the backpack to use on him, especially if Necromancer gives him a boost. We don't want any 200 axes swinging in our face multiple times a turn. That's usually a certain death. There's also a melee attack bonus that boosted unit gets. Okay, and since we are fighting in the forest, we can also utilize those shock points and the high ground. That's perfect. I'm going to position my team and wait for them to come. Okay, let's end the turn and hope, yeah, we have dodged this strike. And I can see this fallen hero up top wielding 200 axe, and that's the dangerous kind. It will be really nice if he dropped this weapon. The problem being we have no whips, we cannot disarm him, and we'll have to find other ways to deal with the problem. But that is still to come. This terrain is slowing down the approach and they are coming at us in waves. Like, for instance, right now this Wiederganger with spear has not had a chance to attack us because of that penalty to traverse through this terrain. Yeah, that Necromancer is going to be quite an issue for us to deal with. I am considering moving my tank forwards to stop that fallen hero from advancing on our more vulnerable members of a team, and if we allow him to touch 2 guys on our team, he will have this round swing going. With the Necromancer buff, he can swing multiple times a turn. Now that the Wiederganger is low, we can wait our turn and use our cleavers to chop his head off, prevent him from being spawned ever again. Like so. We cannot do the same with fallen heroes. Fallen heroes, even with chopped heads, they will be still raising. We can always move on top of that tile and pick up his weapon once he's downed. And thankfully Necromancer has had other ideas and he boosted this mace. Despite traveling 1 tile, he still had 2 swings at us. Yeah, I think next turn we'll have to cast the net on fallen hero. Focus fire, kill him as quickly as we can. That's how we are going to deal with that. There's 2 Wiedergangers flanking us from the south, so I can move my tank, use shield wall here, and let my other members of the team reposition them to handle that threat. They cannot attack ready from where they are now. If possible, I want to have my backline ready to handle that fallen hero. Okay, good. I would rather have this Wiederganger boosted. And this is another head that's been chopped off. Yeah, he's managed to strike us once. That's not the end of the world, but it will add fatigue to us, 10 fatigue to us with every strike. And that can tire us really quickly. And now we have a real problem. This fallen hero has been boosted. So we'll see how many strikes he will end up having. I need to make sure he doesn't bypass the tank and moves on to our other bros. So I'm considering using shield bash and just letting him come to us. Yep. It was one swing and thankfully we've managed to tank it. Now we need to move on to him and strike him with everything that we have. I'm not sure if taunting him will work because he can still use his round swing. So let's use everything we have, including this net. Banner, good strike. There's no space for you other than to move forward. And here we can help the southern flank. Yep, good job. Okay. Thanks to the net, he's still quite slow, and that is giving us enough time to remove him from the battle and pick up his weapon. If he drops it, of course. Let's hope for that. Oh yes, he dropped the axe. That is a wonderful find, and we will be using it going forward, I'm pretty sure. Okay, good dodges, Baldur. You're a pro. Now we just need to move in, pick up that axe. We may have to wait until next turn. We don't have quite enough action points left because of that terrain. And there he comes. Let's kill him before he swings. Okay, good. Okay, now it's time to kill that Necromancer. He's very scared already because we've been killing his friendos over and over again. Ah, reason again. Good job. I'm not sure if he can rise again unless he's picked up by the Necromancer, but now as we are touching him with one of our guys, he is not going to be able to do that because you cannot use his spells anymore. And Brigands will attack us at once a turn. You can take it, you can tank it for a bit, not a big deal. Perfect, just spawned under Baldur's flail. Okay, concussion, and the Necro is no more. Rest in peace, good sir. I think it makes perfect sense to now pick up this armor. That's the last Brigander on the map, and he's got undamaged 115 piece of armor, which is always a welcome drop for us at this stage in the game. Right, puncture time. I'm going to fast forward until we've got the ammo, and let's take a look at the loot. Excellent. The loot is okay. We have the axe, 2 pieces of armor, 115 is always good, and 2 new potions, like Elixir of Perseverance, and the Viking in Chains. Interesting. We can take a look at those in a moment. And I believe we also have a level up on Sir Lothar. Congratulations for your +2, +3, and we can bump your health. +4 is great. You will need Pathfinder, especially in those fights in the forest. So yeah, I think we've cured of sickness on everybody now. That is going to help. Let's repair the armor and replace any damaged pieces we can find. And we can also repair this greataxe and hand it to somebody. Baldur, congratulations. You are going to be looking after this axe for us for the time being. Don't lose it, please. And yeah, let's take advantage of its insane damage in the next battle. And let's chase this last undead group now, as we are heading back to the city to report the location of the camp that, you know, doesn't exist anymore, but we'll skip that little detail there, I suppose, and cash in. I've had a bit of a change of heart as I was backing off because I decided to move my tank to this high ground tile. I think that would help us to block one avenue of the enemy moving in, and we can use our backliners to quickly chop them down. And this flank up top is only 2-3 tiles wide, so it's going to be easier to defend, and we can always reposition some of our men, forcing the enemy to spread their forces even more. So let's get onto it. One down and 11 to go. We have a next candidate now, or 2 candidates with this miner's axe and small axe ready for the chopping. Okay, well, that was that greataxe in action. Just sliced him in half. He can still resurrect, of course, unless we manage to chop his head off in the future. Like this Vidaganga has been just raised. We can move back and let them come. Okay, 1 hit out of 2 is not too bad. Once the armor on them is destroyed, however, it's not that difficult to kill them again. Good job, Adelmar. And yes, so satisfying to swing that greataxe. Love it. Northern flank looks pretty safe to me right now. Strike, strike, and flying heads again. Got 4 Vidagangas, 5 Vidagangas down south, and naturally Necro deal with. We can send some troops chase after him. There's probably somebody defending him as well. Usually there is. I think as the battle is pretty much won, I am just going to skip forward from now on. I don't think there is any need for you to watch the rest of the skirmish. Can handle with pretty much everything else that comes our way. Okay, another head rolled, and pretty much the battle is over now. Well done, team. And nothing extraordinary in terms of the loot, but it cannot really be when we chase this group. It was in the camp. Okay, we've earned our crowns and we can sell the rest of the stuff. Let's just check for the prices here. They are not good with the terrified villagers debuff. There is no quest, however, to help them. Manfred leveled up +4 on a melee defense, +4, which is mandatory on resolve. And can we skip +5 roll on fatigue, or should we take melee skill? I think I'm going to take +5 on fatigue, as you know, he started with 92. That's pretty low. So Fortified Mind takes him up to 72 resolve already. We need to complete our ambition as quickly as we can. Get a new ambition, hopefully the one that tells us to recruit a sergeant with Rally the Troops perk. Let's head to Taubenmoos. Can we get there before nightfall? We cannot. There's one quest, however, to follow the tracks, and it's 2 schools. Okay, well, I will think about taking this quest. I believe we are going to end this episode here, and we'll make the decision in the next one. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I hope to see you soon, and take care.